Hey everybody, Chuck Marone with Strong Towns here. I had someone tweet me today and say, uh, I've gone and lobbied my public works department. I've gone and talked to my local engineer about doing something about the high speeds around our school. We have an elementary school. People drive very fast. It's really dangerous. Kids are crossing here, cars turning, all this stuff, all this complexity. The high speeds are really dangerous. And the city engineer said, we know this is a problem. We know there's danger here. We know it needs to be addressed. We have it in the queue of projects. It's a little bit further down the list, but we'll eventually get to it. This really frustrates me. It really, really frustrates me because the person who sent me the tweet was an advocate of traffic cameras, of speed cameras. So let's have a speed zone, post it, have everybody drive through real slow. And if they don't, we will give them a fine, right? And it's always frustrated me for a variety of reasons. The main one is that people who hit kids and run over kids in school are generally not reckless people. They're generally people who are going about their business. It's just the environment they're in is reckless. It doesn't take a whole lot of people driving over the speed limit or driving, unawares in a sense of the school zone to kill somebody. So the reason I'm frustrated, and I'm gonna give you this right now because I feel like the main takeaway here is not one about cameras, which is a band-aid solution. And I use solution in air quotes, right? It's not a solution. It is purely a band-aid on, a gaping flesh wound, right? The question that I have, or the thing that I push back on that I want you to recognize and push back on is this idea that known safety problem, years until we address it. Why? Why will it take years? I realize that it might take years to comprehensively address it. I realize that it might take years to go out, dig up the street, move the curbs, redesign things, put in medians, create the system that would make this safe. But why does this take years to address a safety problem? Do we not have construction cones? Do we not have temporary bollards? Do we not have paint and straw bales in this community? I mean, if you look at construction zones, right, where there's people out doing something on the street, we can do that generally very safely, right? We go out, we put up signs, we put up things, we narrow down lanes, we move traffic around, we do things to make things safer. Why can't we do this at our schools? Why, if we have a dangerous situation, can't we go out and do this? I mean, if you say, well, we don't want to do this and disrupt traffic all day, fine. Go out in the morning with some cones and, set this up and narrow it down. Go out in the afternoon and do the same thing. Have it out there for 2 hours a day, in the morning and in the afternoon, an hour each. Why can't we do this? What would be wrong with it? What would be the problem with doing this? I don't see one. And I feel oftentimes like what we do is we say, every problem we identify when it's a traffic safety problem has to have a multi-million-dollar solution. And that is a direct descendant from this vertical orientation of our cities. The idea that for us to solve something, we have to get a federal grant, we have to get a state grant, we have to do a big bonding project, we have to do something huge. We don't. We can go out and address all these problems right now, tomorrow. Go do it. Don't wait. If there's an urgent safety problem, use the materials you have on hand and go out and do something, right? Go out and do something to make it better. And here's the thing. If you go out and do something, you're going to be able to see what works. You're going to be able to work with it. You can move a cone a lot easier than you can move a curb. Work with the geometry of the street and figure out what slows down traffic to the speeds that you need in order for it to be safe. And then 5 years from now, when you get around to that permanent project that's now made its way up in the queue, you'll actually have years and years of knowledge and understanding of what is going to work there so you can do the right thing. There should never, there is no excuse for inaction when there's a safety problem. There just isn't. Don't allow there to be excuses because there really is not.